Okay, our next project we're going to do today is making a shade container. So you're going to supply the container in the soil, and you want to start with, this is a 15-inch container. You want to start with like a 14-inch, maybe up to an 18-inch. If you don't have one of those and you want to do like two 10-inch or two 12-inch, you can divide up the plants and do it that way too. There's no right or wrong way. These are all plants that can take shade, but all shade plants can also take some sun. So morning sun, evening sun is fine. So don't worry about that. Just as long as they're not in the hot blazing sun all day, this container will do well. So you can see I filled the container with Pro Mix. This is not real soil, this is a soilless mix. And this way the plants won't sit wet all summer. It's got peat, perlite, and vermiculite in it, and it drains very well. And you can see that I filled it up not all the way to the very top because we're going to be adding all of these plants here. So today what we're going to do is plant these shade plants in here, but first you want to think about where you're going to put your container. So if you're going to see your container from all sides, you're going to put your tall plants in the center and then your lower plants all around. If you're going to put your container up against the wall where you're only going to be seeing it from three sides, you want your tall plants in the back. So today I'm going to plant it as if we're going to see it from all directions. So I'm going to start with my tallest plant, and that's a coleus, and this is a shade loving coleus, and that's going to go right in the center, and this is going to get 15 to 18 inches tall. Okay, and then next I'm going to add this Euphorbia hip hop. This is one of my favorite annuals. It can grow in full sun or full shade. So it's really versatile. And it just kind of adds that little airiness, little fluffiness, almost like adding baby's breath to an arrangement or something. What makes a great container is when you choose plants that have all different textures and flower shapes. You don't want all tiny flowers, or it can kind of look messy. And you don't want all huge flowers. You want to kind of mix that up. So I'm just popping in those two. Now I'm going to add this little fuchsia. It's not blooming now, but these little fuchsia are so sweet. And then you'll have lots of hummingbirds coming to your container, and that's always fun to watch. So I'm going to put that one back on this side, and that will be blooming soon. And then I'm going to kind of offset one over here, and this is a New Guinea impatient. This is not a sun patient. This is a New Guinea impatient that likes shade. Can take, quite a bit of sun, but it's more of a shade lover. And so I'm going to add that up in front. And I love how that dark center kind of picks up on the coleus there. And then next we're going to add I would have to say my favorite begonia of all time. This is a fairly new variety. It's called Fragrant Falls Peach, and this begonia is truly fragrant, and it gets very large. Will not get powdery mildew like some of the non-stops can if we have a wet season. And I just love the color. And this plant will just be huge and like overflowing your container. So I'm going to add that one over here. And then I'm going to take, if there's any yellow leaves or anything, I just pick those off. And I just kind of squeeze the pot a little bit to have that come out easily. And I'm saving the tags because I'm going to stick them in at the end. And I'm going to put this one over on this side for people to see. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to add, this is a Wandering Jew plant. It's a little bit different variety than what you normally see, but these do wonderful in shade containers. So I'm just going to squeeze that pot to loosen it out. And this one I'm going to divide so I can have it kind of trailing on a couple of sides. And I love it by this New Guinea impatient. I love the purple with the pink there. And then I'm going to put it right over on this side here too with the peach. I like it with the peach as well, that dark purple. It makes the flowers stand out. And it kind of picks up the dark in the coleus too. All right, and then I'm going to add a couple of these blue Terrenia. This is a great blooming shade plant. And this will trail down. So really, by the end of the summer, you know, your plants are going to be down almost to the bottom of this container, which will be nice. And I love the blue and peach together. And I need one more that I'm going to put on this side. Okay. Right here. And so I'm just planting them just even with the soil that was in the pot. And then, so we're almost done here, but I like to add these little impatiens to just dot around. I love adding white to a container garden because it shows up beautifully at night. And this is a new series of impatiens called the Beacon series, and it is resistant to the downy mildew. So we're really excited about it. We haven't carried impatiens in about 7 years because of that downy mildew. So we're excited to be able to offer them again.
Great.
And then I'm gonna just tuck this one over here, okay? Now this is gonna completely fill out and be like just huge and gorgeous. So if you wanna use a container that's 16 inches, 18 inches, you'll have a little bit more space showing, but don't worry, it will fill that up. And then at the very end, I do add, everyone will have a little baggie of Osmocote. And this is a slow release fertilizer. And I just sprinkle it in and around the plants because that way it's getting a constant feed. Every time it rains, every time you water it, it's gonna get a little bit of fertilizer. You can still go ahead and use a Miracle Grow or Peters, and that the plants will love that. But this way, if we get a rainy season, it's still getting fertilizer. And then I'm just gonna gather all my tags and stick them in the back because you may wanna know what is in here. And a lot of people save these in envelopes from year to year so they know what they like or didn't like, okay? So we've got something for nighttime and something for fragrance, and we're all set. Okay, we're gonna just go over some care instructions here at the end. You're gonna water this in after you've planted, and you're just gonna fertilize maybe once a month. Not too much because we don't want the plants growing too much in our fairy garden. We wanna keep them kind of compact. And then this can go in sun to part shade. And then just water it when it gets dry. So probably that's gonna be once a week unless we get rain.
Is that fertilized with Miracle Grow?
Yes, you can fertilize it like with Miracle Grow, like once a month is all that would need. And then this you want to fertilize more often, so every week to every 2 weeks with a liquid feed, and because we also put in the Osmocote. And that'll keep all the plants blooming. And water it in thoroughly when you're done planting, and then wait until, I would probably water these once a week through the summer till the plants really start growing, and then you're probably gonna have to water twice a week when the temperatures get higher. And you're just gonna, the plants will let you know if they are dry, and then you'll know to increase watering. Okay.
One more question,
Yes.
Louise. Can this be outside in the sun and shade, or
Yes,
what?
yes, this can take sun or shade.
And what about the cold weather we've been having?
Okay, so the cold weather, you want to keep the plants protected inside while we're having these nights below 40 degrees. The shade plants here like it warmer, 50 degrees and above. So make sure you keep the planter inside at night until the temperatures get above 50 degrees, which will hopefully be soon. But watch those cold nights, and if you can't move your container, go ahead and throw a sheet over it or a box over it, not plastic. Okay, so it was great working with you guys today, and I hope you'll all stop out here at Auburn Point Greenhouse. We are open for the season, 7 days a week. You can walk around. We're just asking people to be 6 feet apart. We have lots of plants outside in our open air market, and we can help you with plant selection, and we have a lot of great plants for this season.
Thank you, Louise.
Thanks.
And this is the beautiful greenhouse. It smells so good and just amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.